Good to have with us today Paul Hyde with Redemption's Promise. How you doing, Paul?
Robert, we're doing great. We are just tickled to death to be with you.
It is a pleasure to have you with us. And let me ask first how things are with you and family in this COVID-19 situation. Everybody's healthy?
Everybody is doing fantastic, and I am just tickled to death. Just booked my first 2 dates for June and July, trying to move stuff around. So we're glad we're going to be going back out and working.
Well, I think there's a lot of folks glad to be back on the road. I did notice an email, though, this morning where somebody had gotten back on the road and they immediately experienced bus problems. So I guess that's the life and times of a gospel singer.
Amen.
Yeah. Tell us about Redemption's Promise and what brought all this talent that has been with other groups over the course of years and put them into one quartet called Redemption's Promise.
Well, I had come off the road with the Florida Boys back in 2014, and I really didn't have any intentions of going back out on the road again. You know, I've done that for years and years, about 30 years with the Blackwoods and Florida Boys and one by one. And so Dave Emery was with the Chuck Wagon Gangs. A lot of you folks are going to know Dave Emery. Lord been dealing with him for about 4 years to call me, and about 2 years ago, he finally was out mowing his grass on a Saturday morning, and the Lord kept saying, "Call Paul, call Paul." And Dave wanted to work full time, and I had put something out there on my Facebook at one time about wanting to work a couple of healthy weekends a month, and so he didn't call me. And he got off the lawnmower that day. He said, "Man, the Lord just wouldn't leave me alone, Paul. I was supposed to be singing with you." And so we put this thing together in October of 2018, and it has taken us a solid year and a half to get the people here that we wanted, that we felt like the Lord wanted here. I've sung in a lot of groups over the years, and I'm telling you, this bunch of guys loves the Lord. We pray for one another. We hold one another accountable, and it's just awesome to be able to be in a group that's that way, that's founded that way.
Based on the fact that you've got so many different members from so many different areas of music, you definitely are bringing some diversified influences into your sound, are you not?
Well, I'll tell you, Vince Walters, who is our tenor, was more of the inspirational contemporary type of music. Matter of fact, we tease him all the time because he doesn't know any of the Southern Gospel guys that we all know. "Oh man, I'm looking forward to meeting him. I'm looking forward to meeting him." You know, it tickles us to death to be able to do that with him. And Rick Fair, who's been in gospel music for a million years, everybody knows Rick, and Rick is he's kind of like Arthur Rice. He's phenomenal. He's a singing machine. And his son David is so much like Rick vocally. And Dave is our lead singer, and we're just really tickled to have him. Steve Taylor has been in gospel music for a lot of years, sung in a lot of local and regional groups. It's his first opportunity to sing with a professional group, and we're tickled to have him with us as well.
What made this the right group for you, though, since you had come off the road a bit and decided it was time to slow the pace down? Why did Redemption's Promise make this the group you needed to join?
Well, going back to Dave Emery, he and I were partners on this starting out. And what he didn't tell me when we started doing this, Dave is one of those people that is there to help people. And the Lord was telling him, "Paul Hyde needs to be singing." Excuse me, I'm at the office.
That's all right. These kind of things happen with live radio and TV.
It does. Well, I tell you. And so Dave and I, he's actually singing bass for the Blackwoods right now. And Dave and I are still best friends. We talk every day. Matter of fact, we talked this morning. I'll be talking to him again after I speak with you. But Dave said, when he started singing with the Blackwoods, you know, we were looking at all this stuff. And he said, "Paul, you've got the guys and you've got the experience," because I did all the booking and everything for the Blackwoods for years and years. But I didn't, you know, I told Dave, I said, "I don't want to do this without you." He pushed me in here, and he's put me in this spot that I'm now the owner of the group. And I've never been in this situation before, but God is really blessing. And you know, we're putting the dates on. We just got through with this new project. I'm tickled to death. God's got a plan to be out in about 3 weeks, and we're excited. We're excited.
I understand that you worked on a couple of projects. One was hymns, some of the old stuff, and then a new project where you can release new music to radio.
Yes. The hymns project was a project we did around January. Dave is actually on that project. We're still going to carry it on the table. Everybody loves those old hymns. And that project was one so that we would have something on the table when we went out to sing, because we hadn't had the thoughts of putting a major project out there yet. Because you know how it is with everybody else. Those major projects are not cheap.
That's right. They do cost a pretty penny if you're going to put quality out there. And I know that's what Redemption's Promise has done. Speaking of projects, though, I know you originally wanted to put But for Grace out, and Les Butler kind of convinced you to put I'm Free. So, what was the deciding factor in changing songs that you released first?
But for His Grace is a great song. It was written by Barry Patrick up in Fulton, Kentucky. Great piano player. Fantastic song. But when you're looking at a debut release for a group that nobody knows, uh, I'm Free, which is a song that I wrote, is a more up-tempo song, more of a quartet song than But for His Grace. But for His Grace, you guys will get that. We will put that out. It's an awesome song.
Who does select the music for Redemption's Promise? Is that a group decision, or do you rely on a producer to tell you what to record?
Uh, it's more of a group decision. Me being the boss, I'm gonna make the final decision between me and the Lord. But you want to put out quality product, and I've got a great bunch of guys that love the Lord, and they trust me explicitly because they know that I'm doing this all in the way that I'm asking the Lord to lead me to do this. I've sung in a lot of groups, and this is actually the first group that I've been able to sing the style of music that I would like to sing. And so I'm really, really excited. A lot of the stuff that we're going to do, the fans will hear as we go forward, kind of has the Greater Vision feel to it. A lot of orchestration, but Greater Vision with a bass singer. And it's really funny, a story I could tell you about Gerald. Gerald used to live a block behind my in-laws. And Gerald and I were standing on his front porch one Saturday and just shooting the bull. And Gerald said, "Now, Paul, I'm going to tell you something. If I ever need a bass singer, I will call you. But don't sit by the phone."
So instead, you put a group together that sounds sort of like Greater Vision, and you add the bass part.
Well, I tell you, I appreciate that. We couldn't have any better example to go by than Gerald. And my hero in gospel music was Gerald's boss, George Youngs.
Yep.
I love George's singing. He was a bass singer that sings with emotion and feeling of a lead singer. That's what I try to do. I always tell people there's two people in this world that I want to emulate. That's Jesus and George.
You are from Morristown, Tennessee, and all of a sudden Morristown is becoming like this haven for Southern gospel, because I know you got the Tallies up there. Gerald Wolf is from there. You're from there. Seems like somebody else is as well. And that's not necessarily a huge community.
Well, One by One was here as well. Now, back in the day, you're a young fella. I can tell by looking at you. But back in the day, gospel singers were known as the Morristown Mafia. And the old timers in gospel music may remember those quotes from back in the singing news days from probably 20 or 30 years ago. But yeah, we've got some very, very talented folks here, and just tickled to death to be from this area. It's great to live here. The folks are awesome, and I wouldn't live anywhere else. Wouldn't live anywhere else.
This COVID-19, is it kind of putting a kind of a hitch in your giddy up, I guess, as far as being able to get this group on the road when you wanted to get it on the road?
Robert, I'll tell you, we did 5 dates before this COVID thing hit. All the dates that we were able to do before this all started. And we were just all excited, and this hit, and now we've not sung in 2 months. And so, I'm really, really tickled, and the guys are pumped to get out there and start working again. What a lot of people don't know is I am also a ventriloquist. And we incorporate that into our singing concerts. When I was with the Florida Boys for 4 years, 98% of our concerts, we did a ventriloquism bit. We would bring a person up off of the out of the church or out of the venue. Les Beasley has been my dummy. We put a mask on their face, and it is just absolutely hilarious. And it brings the church in as part of the concert, part of the group. It's just a phenomenal thing to be able to do.
Love that uniqueness, too, that it would bring to your ministry.
Yeah. It's been really, really good. It's been received real well. I've not had a single pastor that says, no, we don't want you to do that. Because when they hear what we're doing, they're going to get their music director or they're going to get their class clown in the church. And it's just a hilarious, whole lot of fun for everybody.
Looking forward to seeing that happen. Before we leave, tell our folks, our viewers, our listeners, how they can find out about Redemption's Promise and how they can get product from Redemption's Promise.
Awesome. We do have a website. It's www.redemptions promise. Redemption's Promise without the E. I'm going to have to change that because that confuses folks. But you can go to our website. You'll find us on there. Our product is there. You can also go to our Facebook page and find us through there. And guys, we're just looking forward to being in y'all's area. I know you're down in Florida. Got some great friends down in Florida. We're going to be working down there. When we get down there, we'll have you come in and do some MC work with us.
Hey, that'll sound great. Well, I don't know if it will sound great, but it'll be great for me to have that opportunity. But Paul Hyde with Redemption's Promise, say thanks so much for being with us and good luck with the group.
Thank you so very much, Robert. I appreciate you. God bless y'all.